What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word? Hummingbird. Thank you so much for clicking on my channel. I want to have a very quick conversation about this video that I saw on TikTok. I do apologize for not editing that video into this video because my editing software is absolutely garbage and I just can't do it right now. So, there is a video that has gone viral on TikTok, and it is a woman recording the father of her child bringing a fast food meal for the child that they have in common. And the lady is they get into an argument because the mother says that he shouldn't bring a meal just for the child that they have together, that he should bring food also for her other three children that are not his. And so the guy is saying that his only responsibility is his own child, and he doesn't have any responsibility to feed anybody else's children. And the mother's point is that it's not fair for the other three kids to see their sibling, eating a happy meal or a fast food meal, while they don't have that. They probably have to make a sandwich or eat a cup of noodles or something like that. So it's really not fair for the other siblings to see their one sibling being treated while they are not. And so they're going back and forth and they're arguing, and he keeps on telling her, look, it's not my responsibility. We're their daddies. Their daddies need to come and bring them something to eat. And they're just arguing. And the video kind of starts off with her wanting to expose him because as he approaches her residence, she's already outside, like waiting for him. And she says in the recording that she's going to expose him today because he's always bringing food just for the child that they have in common. And he brings absolutely nothing for her other children. And so she comes out the car. She's got her phone ready, recording him. And she tells him, I'm going to expose you today. I'm going to expose you today for this stuff that you keep doing over and over again, bringing food for only one and not for all. And that's how it really starts. And so I was going through the comments, and there's like 40,000, 50,000 comments. And I'm scrolling through trying to get like a general consensus. And the majority of the comments are in support of the father, that he has no responsibility to bring food for her other children. His only responsibility is his own child, and that's it. So unfortunately, I don't agree with that. I have a very, 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 very unpopular opinion. And my unpopular opinion is, if an adult is going to bring food for a child and he knows that there are other children in that household, I think that he has two options. Number one, he should bring food for all the other kids, all the other siblings, not the friends, not the neighbors or whoever else may be there, not the cousins, but his child and his child's siblings. That's option one. If he can't do that because there's too many other children, there's too many other siblings, and he can't afford it, option two, take your child out to eat. Don't bring food into the home if it's only to feed one child. And the rest, I'm pretty sure the rest are not going to starve. They're not going to go to bed hungry. But as children, getting a meal from a fast food restaurant or getting a Happy Meal or something like that, it's a treat for them. It's exciting for them because it's a break from eating the humdrum, everyday, regular food. So it's a treat. And it's like they're going to see their sibling having this treat while they have to eat, whatever's in the home. And I think that can cause jealousy, can cause tension. It can make the sibling that gets the treat feel sorry for his other siblings. He may feel the need to share his one meal with his brothers and sisters, or he may be the kind of child that doesn't really care and he's going to just stuff his face in front of his brothers and sisters and not really care what they think. And then they're going to in turn feel bad. And then it might even make the other siblings feel some kind of way because their father doesn't do that for them. Whatever the outcome will be, if you bring food into the home for one child and not the other, there's going to be some type of negative feeling, with one or with all. There will be some type of negative feeling. And so a lot of people in the comments kept on saying that, well, we're their daddies, we're their daddies. But you don't look at it from the perspective of the adults. You have to look at it from the perspective of the children. And the children are not thinking okay, it's okay for me to do without and for my sibling to have a treat and for me to not have a treat because, yeah, where is my daddy? Where is that, broke jerk? Like, where is he? They're not thinking that. They're just thinking he's got something we don't. That's all they're thinking. And it doesn't take much to make kids happy. A Happy Meal, a burger, a couple of fries, and a toy will make their day. It doesn't take much to make them happy. So, what would it take out of you as the father of that one child? What would it take out of you to spend an extra $10 or whatever for the other kids to have something too? And then they're going to look at you. You're going to be like their hero for the day. And in this recording, in this video, the mother is talking about how, she says to him, I told you my food stamps don't come in until the 7th. And here you come bringing a meal just for one child, but not the others. So she's on food stamps. She's, obviously might be struggling. And as a mother, she doesn't want to see her other kids have to just get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or something like that to hold them over while their sibling gets an entire like meal from a fast food restaurant. Why do you want children to feel that way? How can you like live with yourself knowing that these other kids are going to have to do without or have to do with less than your own child? Like, I don't see how he could do that. And he could do that with such confidence and be like, they're not my responsibility, I'm not responsible for them, call their daddies. I just hate that. I just absolutely hate that because I don't care what's going on between you and the mother and the other daddies. It doesn't even matter. What's important is the happiness of the children. And if the mother is on food stamp and she's got 4 kids and one of the children called their dad and said, Dad, can you bring me something to eat? Let's think of the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario being they really had nothing to eat that night. That one child was really hungry. Or they had very, very little to eat that night. As the man who was coming in to bring food for his child, do you not feel anything for your kids' siblings? Like, it's not like these are just some kids, they're just some random kids that she's taking care of, or the neighbor's kids that always come over to her house, to try to find something to eat. Your child has brothers and sisters that he has a bond with, that he has a relationship with. So what if that child even feels bad that I get a treat and my siblings don't? Or maybe the child was like, you know what, for us to get food today, I have to call my dad and ask him to bring me something to eat. And then when he does, I can share it with my siblings. Maybe it's that, like, why should the children suffer because the adults are having whatever nonsense going on amongst them? I don't understand. And in the comments, the comment that was really getting on my nerves was the comment that kept on coming up over and over and over again. And the comment was, he doesn't have to take care of another man's children. He doesn't have to take care of them. He's not taking care of them. He would just provide them this one meal for this one day. I mean, to me, taking care of means you're providing clothes and shoes and school supplies, and you're making sure that the refrigerator and the pantries are full of groceries, and you're constantly checking up on them, and you're constantly providing for them. That's taking care of. Not bringing this one Happy Meal, and Lord knows how long you've done this. Not bringing one Happy Meal for this one day. That's not taking care of anything. So I was just flabbergasted. I mean, and of course, the majority of the comments were men, but there were also, a good amount of women who felt the same way, who were like, that's not his responsibility. He should only be concerned about his child. I don't think so. I think when it comes to children, if you're going to provide for one, you have to provide for the others, especially when the others are your kids' siblings. And if you don't want to do that, if you can't afford to do that, or you feel like it's not your responsibility to feed other people's children, that's fine. You can feel that way, but don't make it to where the other kids have to see that they are doing without. Take your child, put him in your car. You have one. Put him in your car and take him out to eat. Keep the food in the car. Don't come out with it so they can look through the window and see what you're doing. Keep the food in the car. Say, hey, you're coming up to pick up your child. Take him on a day out and, go treat him. That's it. And if he comes home and he wants to tell his siblings about it, fine, whatever. To me, that's like, it's not the best, but hey, it's better than the other children sitting there watching their brother or their sister eat a treat and they don't have that treat. It's better than that. It's difficult. It is really, really difficult, especially when, for example, like, a woman has children and the father is not in the picture at all whatsoever. And then she meets someone and this man, takes care of her, takes care of her kids. They have a child together. And then he ends up leaving or they end up breaking up and ending the relationship, and you know that the other children, their fathers aren't around, they're not in the picture, they're not providing for anything, and then you leave and then all you want to do is just take care of your own and forget about the rest. No, absolutely not. That's just not cool. So it kind of broke my heart that people felt like it was okay because they were looking at it from the standpoint of the adults, and plus the lady was yelling and screaming and cussing. And so she was making a good point, but her delivery was awful. So I think people were just kind of persuaded by how her whole demeanor and how she was talking to him because she wanted to expose him. She starts off the whole recording with, I'm going to expose him today. So she already had this, ulterior motive going on of exposing him to the whole wide world, like what a deadbeat he is because he's coming to bring food for his child and not her other children. And so that probably turned a lot of people off, and they probably would have agreed with her maybe, but for the fact that she was just kind of like, going off the deep end. So I was just like, just look at it from the children's point of view. If you were in that household and you were one of the kids in that household, how would you feel? How would you feel if, and then the mother herself has to see her children, her other children go without and see the hurt in their eyes and, try to do whatever she can. And then people were like, well, why doesn't she go do this? And why doesn't she go get them something? And she needs to get off her butt and get a job. And look, for whatever reason, she's in the situation that she's in, whether she's there purposely, whether she's there, it's like beyond her control, or if she's just one of those people that just doesn't want to work. It doesn't matter if she doesn't want to work, if she can't work, the point is for this particular moment, for these few minutes of these children's lives, this is what they're going to be going through. And something like that, they're going to remember. They're going to remember when I was a kid, my brother's dad would always come over and bring him something to eat. And the rest of us would have to just deal with whatever was around the house. And we would have to watch our brother eat, a hamburger and French fries and Coke and whatever else and ice cream sundaes. And the rest of us just sat there, eating crackers. That's something that's going to stick with them for the rest of their lives. And if you hate the mom, hate the mom. The mom hates you, you hate her, fine. But don't lose sight on what is best for the children that are your child's siblings. And I know this is an unpopular opinion, but that's just how I feel. And I just had to come talk about it. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video if you like this content. Subscribe. If you don't worry about it. But thank you for stopping by anyway. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.